All right. We are coming along. Beautiful. We are finally live. So, hello. It's Malcolm at Shift Martin 3D. This is what we're making. We're working on this sci-fi ship. What am I doing? So I've been working on this section. As I was saying before, I probably want to make some clips in here. I haven't really done much work on the bottom. Not such a fan of this area. But we might just come back and just start clearing that up a little bit. Right, yours. Okay, so let's just continue work around this body. So I'm just going into hard mode. I started making kind of like a small greeble thing here. So these here, I just dumped them all around here as if kind of like clips that are clipping in those panels. But I think I might still go around and just put in a few pop rivets. But for now, let's create those clips I was talking about. So Shift S, cursor wheel at origin. Let's just move this cube out of the way. Okay. Tab to go into edit mode. Let me turn on my shortcut keys just in case somebody wants to have a squism. All right. So I'm going to make our pivot point there. And we're going to be kind of just making some clips. Let's go like this. Actually, let's make them a little bit thicker. GX. E to extrude. And then from here, let's just taper this in. That's a bit wide. What are we going to do? Let's go for numpad 5 to go into orthographic mode. Hang on. Surely, is George? No, George Lucas still alive. Surely. Is he? Now you got me guessing. All right, size. All right. So kind of just making these pins. Oh. Now, how does that look? I do not like that one little bit. So let's go into orthographic and we'll make it so it's kind of as if it's kind of like a lever as well. Just plop it in there, we'll rough it down, GZ. Okay, so I'm going to grab this, E to extrude, and let's come in here, select these back faces. GX. Yep, that looks fine to me. Is Future Ghost. Okay, good. All right. Let's get the crud out of me, buddy. And so it's kind of now looks like as if it's a tab. Now, is this big enough? So if I go scale this in, and if I come up here to snapping, I want to snap to face, closest, I want move and rotate. So now if I press G and hold Control, it should be snapping to that face. There we go. And so you can actually see it like this. So if I'm moving around, I want to snap to these faces, snap to these faces, which is exactly what I wanted. So let's now rotate that. Let's move that in. So this first one's going to give me that guide to see what it's like. It's not good enough. GX. Oh, actually, no. I've got to move it this way. GX. Let's go into edit mode. I am going to select these two back faces. Control I to invert the selection, which is actually still not what I wanted. So let's get rid of these vertices. And now I can go GX. GX. I think this plate then is sticking out a little bit too much. So let's grab all this. Oh, gonna miss so much. Let's leave it as is for now. Shift D. Dump it up here. Shift D. Rotate. And so we're just putting in these greebles, just to give the panels a little bit of extra definition. go. How are you? You're not too bad. And one in there. Let's do the same for up top. Shift D. There we go. How's that looking? That just gives that a little bit more depth. I did like these pieces, but I actually like these ones as well. So Shift D, this will be tricky because I didn't give myself a lot of room down the bottom here. There we go. How's that look? So if I click on this, with these ones, obviously we can move it in a bit more by the looks of it. G, Y, X. Let's come back here. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, what else we got? I'm not too sure what to put in this section. There's something needs to be there. I was thinking maybe like ladders, but what for? The back side here is going to be kind of like the entry point, and so we're going to have a cockpit. So kind of like imagine that this is the cockpit area, and then this is almost going to be storage in here, and that's why we've got the engines here on the right hand side, and obviously this engine will be mirrored on here once it comes close to finishing it up. So I'll just apply all the modifiers and then bring it across. Now making the back area here, what are we going to do? So initially this is going to flip outwards and this will flip downwards. This section here was going to be kind of like the landing gears coming out, and I'll probably put another section somewhere around here as well. So let's do that. Let's just work on the back door. I think it should be straight. GX. Let's just go this whole thing, size X0, and move that in. And if we have a look, yeah, that seems about fine. Should be right. What else we got? So let's make probably the hinge section. So Shift S, cursor to world origin. Let's get our mesh cylinder. Rotate X. There we go. And so this will come up in here. Like so. If it goes in the center, it goes around that pivot point. Okay, G, X. And we will now mirror this. Shift D. There we go. I'm just trying to think, how should we do this? Thank you, Beat Saber. Control L, Shift D, X, and we'll put it on the other side so that this door is hinging off 4 pieces. So let's grab this, thus, Control B, just to give it that little bit of a bevel. Size X, let's just make that a little bit tighter. And where do we go from here? So let's just we'll make some greeble plates on here. So how are we going to do extra strength? I think from here is the plan is to make this one a little bit longer and a hook. So if you think mechanically, I'm using my hands, which you can't see, but this bottom half slides in first, and then the top slides in over, locking the 2 plates in place. I think mechanically wise, that would be better. If I just select this edge, Shift S, cursor to selected, I can select all this, And if we come here to rotation on the cursor, yep, rotate X, Y. Why are you being a jerk? Because that's the wrong one. Pivot point, rotate X. So this would come in second, locking that in. So let's kind of just work on that quickly. Just want to block it out. So let's go E, and we'll bring that down. Let's select these two faces, G, Z. It's a little bit yuck, but we'll come in and clean that afterwards on the solidifier modifier. Let's bring this in, G, like so. And I would like to think that it's almost like claws. So let's go Control R, and then let's size these on the x-axis, and let's get rid of that pivot point back to medium, and Control B. And we will grab these two, Control B again. And then what we can do is just grab this section and let's eyeball it. Yeah, nice. Sick. Hello, Diver Fiction B, Salmon. All right, from here, let's go. Let's just create some greebly stuff. Let's go Shift D, GY. Let's move it away. P, separate by selection. I don't want the solidifier modifier on this. I want the solidifier modifier on that one. So let's just undo that. And on this one, we get rid of it. Okay. Let's have a look. What do we got? How should we make this? Scale X. We did say these two are attached to the ship. The middle one isn't. So let's grab that and we'll give it kind of more of a contact point. All right. And then from here, let's extrude scale X. That's fine that it doesn't line up. Let's reline it up. Lovely jubblies. And just like before on other parts of the ship, mainly these panels here, I'm going to make these insets, and these are very easily done. Select our two loops, Control B to do a bevel. Whoops, that was a bit out of hand. And then select these areas, Control B. And then now if we select these inside ones, GG, move it in. And now we've got those kind of like inlets. The corner bevels, you just got to keep going. You look at something, Alex, you just look at something and go, how do they make that? I've come back from a fitter and turner background. I believe so, yes. You can always go from high to low. So if we come in here, let's just extrude that in. And I kind of want to curve these sections off. Bevel these sections off. And I want to do it bigger than, oh my goodness, the actual modifier will do. So let's just grab these. Control B. Okay, let's come into here. Yeah, not too bad. So probably I reckon there's going to be a part over the top. I don't like this corner. And I think what we might do is do a border around. I think would look nice. So let's just grab this section. Back into solid mode. Shift D, scale. Like this. And it's almost as if we're going to give it some extra strength. Let's do that. Press I to do an inset. About so. Delete faces. Let's select this. GZ. Just want to get these two lined up. I think we can do more. Let's do an edge loop in here. Let's do an edge loop in here. Size Z 0. Select these two so they're both equal. Size Z 0. Select these both and do Control B. Size X. And that is fine. Now we select the two most outer edges, scale Z. Something like this. Let's get these two, GZ, bring that in. Select these, E to extrude, bring that in, GX, Y. Okay, how's that looking? There we go, just a little bit of extra definition. Stream, beautiful, thank you very much. Make a model and send it to him, he always has a heart attack. Well, it all depends. What is it? What game is it for? Is it for filming? If it's for a film, go nuts. But if it's for gaming, yeah, you got to be careful. We are doing a lot of work on the Quest at the moment, and the poly restrictions are about 100,000, which is deadly. So I've had to be very creative with some of the parts. But we've got a very good looking application that we've been doing on the Quest. VR is another beast. Z, oops, Shift D, Z. Let's scale this puppy in. There we go. Size Z, beautiful. Okay, let's have a look at that now in rendered view. What material do we have on here? Material. Let's take that off. That doesn't look too bad. I think I need something joining it. I won't put vents on here. And because this is opening from here, that's fine, and I reckon probably on this panel when I come to work on it, let's make like a bit of a hydraulic system. Ooh, that'd be nice. So a hydraulic that sits here and pushes it down. Oh, that'd be beautiful. All right, let's just quickly block that out. So let's move this into position. G, X, Y. Okay, where are we? Oops, get a solid mode. Why am I fighting? How could I do that? What do I think about pre-rendered backgrounds for games? Well, if you've got Unreal Engine, it'll do a whole bunch of LOD on it, and that normally does a very good job. But pre-rendered backgrounds, I mean, if it works, it works. Welcome to all those people that have come. From here, let us. Okay, Shift S, cursor word to origin, because I'm going to start adding a new cylinder. Let's just jump straight into tab mode. Edit mode. Let's bring that here. And so we have to think, because if I've got a giant cylinder here, this piece sits here. That means that when it opens, the top of the cylinder is going to have to move to... I'm thinking mechanically wise, because you can't have a stationary cylinder moving in a curve. that's not going to work. So actually the whole cylinder has to be on a pivot up here. How can we get away with that? It might be this pivot cylinder if it comes down here and it's on a pivot. Actually, what I'll do, I've always had problems with grease pencil, but that's because I just don't know it. So if I do the pivot point here, cylinder will be here, and the piston is connected to an offshoot. And then that means that when that starts extending, technically it would come out to here-ish, let's just say. Piston has come out. And then will that mean, no. So that won't work. The piston actually needs to be in. Good. Good thing I started drawing that. So the way that's going to work, whoops, 90 is if I have a piston here and this piston comes out, whoops, let's just go I. Come on, E to extrude as it's pushing down, but it still needs to rotate in there. So maybe I just put in a slot. Oh. That seems like a lot of hard work, but it can be done. I'm trying to think, how's the Falcon do it? The Falcon has it just pushing straight from above. So there's oops. Neum Falcon landing gear. How does it work? Not landing gear. Door. It's got pistons that push it down, and the pivot points on that. How does that work though? It's got to be up here. There's got to be a pivot point as well. I'm just trying to think this mechanically. No, whatever. Let's go. We will. Where's my piston gone? Did I delete it? I deleted it. Okay, Shift S cursor toward origin, and we'll just do it like this. But somewhat it needs to make sense, because then there'll be lots of people that will be having a whinge. And yeah, let's do it that way. And then it'll come out in there. Yeah, good enough. And then what will happen is from here, let's separate that bottom door. Let's get this face in here. I to do an inset, and I'm just going to extrude that up. But what I will do is Shift D, scale that in a bit, and kind of have our piston come out here. That seems like a big piston, so let's select all, Alt S. Well, that did not like that. Scale, Shift Z, because I don't want to change the Z axis, only X and Y. So we'll make it a little bit smaller. Bring it in. What I will do is I'll do a Boolean later, and maybe just cut out that slot there, so when I come to rig it, that'll actually work. Give it. I've got a better idea. How about we just delete it? Because the door opening is internal of the whole thing, just like the Falcon. So as you can see in here, it's actually in the ship that's pushing it down. Done. I'm happy. Let's go with that. So let's do the pivot point same as up here. I'm just going to select this, Shift D, and we will bring that in there like so. And let's just go smooth. And if you do a shade smooth, and you can see that it kind of like looks a little bit yuck, you come over into the object data, I believe. Normals, auto smooth, and then that'll auto smooth everything above 30 degrees. Beautiful. From here, I do kind of think I should have a piece that comes up. Like a strength bar, so I might make that a triangle. To make my life easier right now, what I'll do is I'm going to select this. Let's just bring, actually, yeah, I'm just going to bring that out here, rotate, oh, get stuffed, select that, rotate, 180, and so now I'm actually working vertically rather than a very silly angle. I'm just going to bring that over as well. Okay. Shift D, scale, oh, fine. There we go. P, separate by selection. So now I've got my individual part. Let's come into here, get rid of the solidify modifier, turn off clipping, so that now I can scale on the X axis, scale on the Z, and we will line that up like so. G, Y, let's bring that in. I'm going to grab this, G, Y, bring that in so it's kind of got a bit of a triangulation. So this is kind of like a support. That's not bad. I think though it needs to come out a bit more. So let's grab this. Let's grab this face and bring it down. Okay. G, Z, beautiful. That looks nice because obviously you have people walking on it. So that'll work. So what can we do here as well? Let's just add some more stuff. Let's just add stuff for the sake of it, kind of strengthen, maybe something like tension rods. So let's grab a cylinder, GY, rotate Y 90, GY. I think that's a good idea. Tension rods. Scale that in. Beautiful. Scale, shift X, GY. Let's bring that in about there. And Control B to do a bevel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this edge loop. Oh, dang it. Select that edge loop. And we'll come in here and select this one. Oh, I'm doubling my work. Let's just select in the middle there. V to rip. Control L, P, separate by selection. And I might just join these two. That's solidify. Let's select this one. Control J. And I'll select this edge in here. Control B. G, X. And let's kind of E to extrude, scale, shift Y. Nope, shift X because I don't want it to go on the Y axis. Kind of bring that in a little bit. Just kind of like a little detail. Control B. Nice. Okay. Let's move that up. G, oops. G, Z. Shift D. Z. Oh, fine. Ah, so the reason why it's not snapping is because I've got snap to face turned on. So let's just kind of randomize that up a little bit. That actually looks pretty cool. I'm fairly happy with that. I'm going to put in a plate in the middle here. So let's just grab that. Shift D, X, scale Y. Scale Y, keep going, keep going. Oops, GX, move GY, move that in. Oops, don't have clipping turned on. Now I've got clipping turned on, it'll snap to the middle face. Control L, oh, GZ. And I might put in edge loop in here, Control B, and you'll see this all over the ship. I've actually done this quite a bit. I just like this pattern. GYX. That's cool. So let's have a look. This is the front of the ship for those who have just joined us. Slowly working around, adding all these little tiny greebles. Kind of moved off into the back section. The engine I'm fairly happy with. I drew inspiration from some picture somewhere. Oh, but yes, so this engine will be duplicated on this side, but I'm just working on the back engine for now. Okay. From here, what can we do? I think, actually what we will do is, as we were talking about it before, how there'll be a piston in here pushing it down. So let's put probably a plate up here. So let's get rid of clipping. And that plate is kind of the holding the bolts, if you know what I mean. So GY, E to extrude. Let's grab this face, Shift D, Z, rotate Z, 90. I probably could be using kit ops for most of these little greebles, but while we're here, let's just model them out. Pins. How should we do this? Okay, I to do an inset. Scale, let's do like so. GY, Y, yep, push that out. And we're going to kind of make a bolt head face. So these two here. That's off center. Select these, select these. That's a face. That's a face. That's a face. Is that a face? Sure is. Let's do an edge loop in here. Select these 5 faces. E to extrude. Scale Y 0. GY. Let's go into orthographic to stop that clipping. And let's just merge all these. Alt M center. Alt M center. Alt M center. Alt M center. And so now it kind of looks like we got big bolts holding something in. Ooh. Oh yeah, I'll buy that for $1. I'm going to apply this solidify modifier, and I might do one here. Control B, select this again. Control B. Oh, did not like that. Let's do edges. Control B. Just a little one. There we go. GYX X. Okay, what have we got? Do we have any weird modifiers? Nope. Control J. Let's do tab into edit mode, select everything. Rotate. And let's see what this looks like. Ooh. I'm fairly happy with that piece. I think some work needs to be done on here. Maybe what it needs. Shift S, cursor world origin. I think what it needs is almost like a light, so that it actually kind of shines out when it opens. So something like this. Let's move that up some more. bring that in, and this will extend. Oops, E to extrude. Bring that down. GZ. The light will be E to extrude scale Z. Something like this. I to do another inset. And let's do another inset. And oh yeah. Let's grab these edges. Oops. Let's grab all this. Ah, fine, grab all that stuff. Control B. And we missed a bit. Control B. And so in here, let's quickly add in our materials. Plus, this is my clay material. And this face in here will be my headlamp, a sign. That's kind of cool. That's not too bad. Eevee's not doing my blooming. I would like bloom. That's because I'm in cycles. Let's go Eevee. And Eevee's given a bit more bloom. Let's go back to cycles. Yeah, I'll probably make this bit here more powerful. Or actually, I'll just put a lamp in there. But it gives you that idea of what's happening. Let's just give that the clay material as well. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free to ask. Let's join. Actually, we'll leave that as is. All right, what's the next section? I do like this top bit. I want to kind of work on that. This bit here is still bugging me, but a lot of the underbody needs work. I will probably split the ship again. So from here, it's kind of, I'm thinking of the manufacture process. Actually, maybe down the middle. I'm thinking the manufacture process, because you don't build a whole piece comes out. You know, like you build a car, it's all in sections. The chassis itself is like one section, but the outside body parts are normally individual. So I think I might put a slit here-ish. And of course that's not going to work because I've got some n-gons. So let's grab this to here. Alt M last. Oh, I'm going to have to clean that up. Let's see what. I won't put that slot there. What if we just put it here? So the way I do... That's not going to work, is it? Let's put it back here-ish. So the way I do panels, Control B to do a bevel, and I get an extra edge loop in there, bring it in, Control numpad minus, and we do Alt S to scale in, V to rip, and there we go. Now I've got a panel here. So we've kind of ultimately now split the ship into 3 pieces. I think I might actually put one through the center once the mirror modifier is applied, and then that kind of, you know, half of the ship is put together, if you know what I mean. So from here, we should probably make another panel around here. So this ship, I've been working offline, but I've got time tonight, and I thought I might do a live stream. So you won't find anything. You'll find a time lapse of this coming up later, but for now, it's just this. So let's make a panel that comes around here. So I'm going to do Shift D, P to separate by selection. What I can do now is we can just start work on this. There we go, just that section. So let's start putting a few edge loops in. Kind of want to cut around. Like, do it like this. There we go. And let's grab the edge in here. Where is it? There it is. GG. There we go. And I will put an edge loop in here. Let's clear out these faces. Delete faces. Let's come in here. We don't need that much. Oh, that's going to be annoying. GG. Let's try and line that up as much as possible. GG. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Delete vertices, and then we can come around here and okay. So I'm missing I'm missing two vertices. So let's go here, W, subdivide, and let's do one in here, W, subdivide. And let's kind of line this one up roughly, this one up roughly, and what I can do is, if I come in, where are we? Here and here, I press F, and then I select this edge. I should be able to press FF. There we go. And that filled in those faces. Let's go like so in here. And I'm going to put another edge loop in here. Control B. Like so. I want to delete. I did that wrong. Back into solid mode. Just right here and start of it. It'll be available offline. Yes, I'll be doing. It'll be coming up as a time lapse. From here, I'm going to press GG, move that in, and let's delete that face now. Coolses. And the way I'm just going to quickly create this as a panel is go into the modifiers, solidifier. Let's get rid of this bevel because I don't need it for now. Offset at the moment is at -1, and we know that the normals are facing into the ship, so that's where the panels will go. So if we bring this up to 0, or even that, there we go. We've got these panel stuff. I am a fan of this piece. It's pretty dodgily modeled. Hi, I have a question. Can we use grease pencil for creating detail on surfaces? No idea. I've avoided the grease pencil because my drawing capabilities are horrendous. But that is something I definitely want to come to one day. Just like sculpting, I have no intention of learning character creation because to me, it is a whole nother skill set that I don't have time to learn. Is the best answer I can give you. So now that we've got this here, I'm going to just hide it because I don't need to see it, and I kind of just want to add in some more details. So as we've been doing it before, let's put in edge loop in here, Control B. Let's select these two, Control B, and let's move this out. Beautiful. So it kind of matches all the other pieces. Let's do the same, but this time I'll do an inset. Right. Will this work? It will not work. Oh no, it will work. And now if we turn this back on and we go into rendered view, is that plate a little bit too big? Maybe, but it works, I think. I think it works. Excuse me for a cheeky drink of water. I will get these to come across again. Actually, while we're here, let's just do that. I don't think I'm going to change the shape of it much more. So let's go into solid mode. I'm going to select our little clip here. And for those of you who have joined us now, I've come up here to snapping and changed it from incremental to face. And I've affected the movement and the rotation. So now if I select this little piece and I go Shift D, I can press G and it should snap to my cursor. And that's at a weird angle. Alt R. G. Okay. Fine then. Don't do that. That's weird. Oops. I pressed numpad 0 there. So let's rotate Y 90 minus, and now I can just move this into position. Shift D, and let's rotate that on 90. And so you can see we've kind of got these clips that I'm putting in. So let's go Shift D, Control. Why is it not affecting rotation? That is really annoying. GX, nope. Fine, I won't do it that way. Let's put it, come on, you're meant to be on the front, buddy. Okay, rotate Y 90. And let's kind of just line this up. There we go. Z, we'll put one up there as well. And I think that's all we really need to put on. Oops. Let's come into rendered view. Yeah, that looks nice. Just a little bit of extra detail. Something I haven't done yet is joined the engine to the ship, because at the moment there's just a gap. How am I going to do that? I was thinking I might put in a cylinder. I have left a gap in there. Put in a cylinder. Let's just do that now. Wait, cursor to world origin, mesh, cylinder. Let's go. Rotate X, Y 90. And I'm just going to move that up here. Let's work on it up here. So we want it to, do I want it to move around is the question. The thing is if it's rotating, if we think about it, not professionally, mechanically, the ship would actually be off balance because the engine's at the back here. And if the engine started twisting down to kind of hover it in, it would actually make this ship spin out of control. Is it a problem? Probably. Should be cheap. Why not? So what I could actually do is probably build in another separate engine, probably like an exhaust port in here, and that kind of like stabilizes the thrust. Beautiful. I'm a designer. Okay, so from here, let's actually, we will do an inset, and it's kind of like a giant rod that's sitting in here. Let's extrude again and scale. Extrude, extrude, scale, bring that up like so. Now we'll do a shade smooth. Once again, that's looking as rough as guts. Let's come into object data, normals, auto smooth, and anything above 30 degrees will auto smooth. Delightful. So that's cleaned that up quite nicely. What should we do? Let's grab this whole section, do I to do an inset, and let's press I. No, let's make, sorry, let's scratch that. We'll do I to do an inset, just to give us a little bit of edges. I'm going to press I to do another inset, and then press I again to do individual insets, like so. Let's do, come up to the top here and select individual origins, not the median point. And so now each one of these faces will extrude in the direction of the normal. So if I go E to extrude, they all equally go in, or they all equally go out. Okay, give them in your plot. Cool. All right, lovely. Now let's have a look. What's that going to look like in here? It's not going to be very noticeable, so I'm not too concerned about it. But just in case somebody does have a bit of a smidgen, we're going to scale Shift Y. Nope, Shift X, because I don't want to scale on the X-axis. And it goes in about here. Alright, we've got an issue with this panel. And does this have a mirror modifier on it? Sure does, but we'll do Control R in here. And let's get rid of these two vertices. And there we have it. So now I can probably GX, E to extrude. There we go. Just a little piece in there, joining everything up. Nice. Nice. Oh. Okay. What can we work from now? This quarter section here, do we put in an exhaust? Because we've got this intake coming in through. Does it go anywhere is the question. Do we put a landing gear back there? Do we put an oh, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we just put an external landing gear. So we have a fixed landing gear here at the front. And, whoop. And the little one's woken up. So, the stream's now finished. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps me out, keeps you up to date with my content. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much.